they naturally swing out. It's very hard to, if you try to come straight forward, you really start binding the shoulder. You've got a ball socket in there. And if your arms swing, they naturally want to flare out as they come forward. They come in here. If you let your arms go up behind you, what do they do back there? They flare out there. It's real hard to try and force them straight forward and back. So that natural swinging motion is a little arc that goes around in and out in this direction here like that. All right? And the purpose of that swing is to make sure that both arms swing together. One arm swinging by itself really is fighting against your body. So we're gonna do a couple of those things just to feel how that arm moves like that. And probably, your arms can either swing both in opposite directions or they can swing together. But they've got to coordinate themselves to move as a unit like that. And we'll start first just by having, let's say I grab two people and each of you are going to hold an arm out here. You've got an arm. You can hold one two like that. And if I start here and I'm trying to swing one arm, if you're not letting me, it's real hard to fight one arm like this. But when I start moving two arms here, boy, it works pretty easily like that. If you get them out of sync, again, you start really fighting against yourself. But as long as they work, as a nice coordinated effort with that movement together like that, that's really what we want to have up here. All right? So start with that. Try to maintain an even pressure and just get that feeling first of just getting the natural swing to your motion. It's that swinging of the arms that's really going to get your body moving as well. All right? A lot of times later, I don't want to get too far ahead of myself, but if you're running, a lot of people run, you see people that are fighting themselves, and then you see people that run because I'm pumping these arms, and you watch a professional runner, and this is what's making you move. All right, so when you get those arms swinging and moving, that's what gets your body really working together as a group. So let's just grab a partner, a couple partners, so you can just play with that. Again, you don't want to fight too hard, just enough to feel a little bit of resistance and rest. Right now, and sort of feel like you're extending all the way to your fingers. So that we start to feel that smooth. Okay, here we go. Here now you can feel, and both my arms are working as one piece. We're even working smoothly here, rather than
you don't want to be
till that one let go, and as soon as that one let go, boy, you don't feel it. Now they're both here like that. All right, and sometimes if we start doing this, we can cover that up, and that I make up for the lack of this by using this. What we want to do is get sensitive right now. We're not trying to fight this. We're trying to just feel and become aware of what we're doing, so that we can get a little more detail and control in what those motions are. Okay.
I'm going to try one at a time. This way from the pass.
Here, you don't feel my arms tight at all. Like extend my hands down to here, so that all I'm feeling is just the arm motion itself. I'm not trying to use the body. I just want to feel, and you can feel, boy, if I let go of this one, I let go of this one. You can't, if I let go of that one, you feel the missing part in here. And that's all you want to do is feel like, hey, both of these guys are one piece, and rather than just being too relaxed and then letting those parts separate. The important thing in really getting the body to work as a unit is not trying to work one muscle harder than the other, but trying to get all your muscles in a balanced tension. All right? Trauma occurs at points of imbalance, and you want to make sure that's outside of you. All right? You can hold this one here. And like you did here, was you just had your arm. What I want to do is
feel I've been straighten my arms. Now they feel like, and these are one piece rather than they are attached to my body, and now I'm just swinging them around rather than, hey, they're attached to me, and I'm making those arms move. Right? It's a lot harder if you don't feel that unless, hey, now it's in balance because they're both in an even spot. If this one's only moved this far, I can't keep the balance tension unless it's right there. Now you can feel, hey, they're both the same wherever I go. And that's what I want to have, because that, now I can make my body do things and boom, I'm connected as one. All right? Yes, I'm not attached. They're just there. So I want enough tension where you can feel both of these arms are the same. If I only, wait, it's not the same because it's only the same figure. You feel, if this one, my body becomes one piece, and that's when all of my body motions go right into that point. If I just had this, now I'm wrestling against my own arm rather than, hey, that's easy to do. Whatever I want to do, I can break free. All kinds of things. If I'm trying to do this without you, let's say about in here, it's hard to make this motion unless I turn that. Now, whatever I want to do with my body is going to happen, but I've got to have that same balance on both arms. If I let this one if I wanted to extend this with one, well, that didn't feel right. But how easily that works when both of those work together as a unit.
This is out here loose. Okay, my hand's just loose. Now I'm just using what? That ball. I'm all the way up in my shoulder. I'm not really using it. I want to start with my fingers and my ball, and then you can see everything tightening up. And then when I'm doing that, hey, now my body's involved instead of, well, my hand's just loose. My whole body can't be involved because it's got to start where? It's got to start at your fist and your fingers. So make sure that that's real tight. And then we can hold even a little bit tighter, and then you can start doing it. Go ahead. It makes sense. But we're holding a lot more tighter than we were before, and you're still making it happen. So that's all you do. Keep going. And now see how your body's starting to make this happen. Now you have to use your body, just not using your arms. Go ahead. And see how your body's coming forward, and your body, there it is. And we're holding pretty tight here, and you're making it happen. Now you're moving us around. Very nice. Yeah. Big difference in there. Very nice. Very good. That's it. Good. All right. That makes right.
Hold that position here. Yeah. So you feel how that now that they're tied together more here. I can't tighten them up and get them even unless they're in balance with each other.
Actually, I can feel it when he pushes his arm down there.
Right.
Right.
Okay. And that's what you're really trying to achieve. The other thing that will really help that is actually trying to expand the body rather than contract it. All right? In other words, say you're holding my hands for a moment. Or each of you know. You can grab one or two. Yeah, you can one or two. Probably more than fingers or so, whatever, too high. Grab just so we feel this. And when most people contract their muscles, it feels like everything's coming into me rather than I'm here. If you see an animal out there trying to impress another one, they're not, hey, I'm the big guy on the block, and they all try to expand. And that's when you really get the balanced tension. If you're contracting your muscles, you're only working half of them. Right? The only way to get all your muscles into play is to expand everything with it. Okay? So that'll make a big difference on feeling that motion up here. Try to reach your fingers out and try to feel yourself as big as you can. And now I start to feel all those muscles come into play. Sometimes we're just going too far, right? So if again, we're looking here, it's not a matter of how much I'm moving. And I'm not just separated here, I'm going to feel the expansion of, boy, these are in part like that. And it doesn't have to be that far, I just want to feel that they're connected together. And you can feel, hey, it's not connected here, it's connected here. All right, if this one goes up to here, I got to do this. And now, my arms really don't want to swing that far. All right, and sometimes I lose that when I try to do too much. And again, remember, your elbows will never clear your shoulders. They're always below them. Once your elbow goes over the shoulder, then we've opened up that rotator cuff too much, and I've lost a lot of muscles. Can't work with it. The other thing is make sure you feel the expansions. And then just slowly let one swing forward, one back, so that you feel almost like you're pulling me as much with that as you are with this. Now if you're coming back in, it's the same feeling. Try and feel both of those working just as a balanced unit. Even if somebody's not even on one, if you're only holding one arm and this one's free, I can't just, well, that didn't feel the same. I've got to imagine the same resistance as if I'm pulling somebody over here rather than just thinking of you. Yes, a lot of times it's the hand that's not being used that needs more attention than the one being used. Eventually, almost like the sound of the one hand clapping, what's the point of one arm swinging? You try doing this, but you're going to be in trouble. They got to swing together. They have to move together like that. The next thing we want to do is, I'm going to show you a little different way to make a fist. All right, and this is a shoulder groove fist. It used to be that way in all the Okinawan arts, but they wouldn't teach it till you made Sandan, and then pretty soon people left before they got it, and it disappeared because they didn't do it correctly. When you make a fist, and this is using that first finger straight, and that's their biggest criticism was your little finger was hard to keep in there, and that's because they made it from the first finger down. But when you make a fist, you always start with the little finger, work up towards the thumb. So you want to curl these three fingers towards the thumb muscle. Then you overlap the first one, and then the thumb on top of that. All right? And I'm going to come around and help you with each of them. And I want you to make one like that and one like this, just to feel the difference. One will feel like you're holding something in your hand, and the other one. All right?
That's the difference. Big difference. Yeah.
Feel the difference in the forearm muscles and the whole. Right? Not bend or... Okay.
Makes it stick out more flat this way. More protruding this way.
When you work them this way,
Lines the first two knuckles. I knew when you were going to do my hands, I would put lotion. I would put lotion on.
roll this way. Now it forces everything to this level. What this wants to be is this. Right? And you feel, well, there is no wrist. You feel like, boy, I got one little needle going right into my ribs. Right. And that's because what this does is line the strike up on the radial bone of the forearm rather than putting it in the center of the hand. You're still going to hit with two knuckles, but everything focuses on the first one rather than focusing on two. All right? And sometimes you can really feel that difference too, is, let's say, you grab two of these fingers, and you're holding this. Wait, I can't really project into you like hold one thing. You feel the difference on that? All right? All right? And a lot of times, a lot of you have learned a lot of the projection of that first finger or hand like that, or if somebody wants to shake hands with you and crush your hand out here, all you have to do is point that finger straight, make it squeeze all they want. You don't have to worry about that with the crush. But as soon as you lose that projection along that radial bone, now the lower muscles don't really line up. Okay, so let me run around. I'm still going to teach you. Okay, looks pretty good. All right, let's open it up again a little bit more. What we want to really do is really focus on, see how theirs are going towards this instead of back towards your wrist. Feel the difference? Hey, now they're rolling towards here. Oh. And now where's that projecting? Oh. Out into that knuckle that way. All right? So, yeah, and even that is starting to go back this way instead of start with the little finger first so that these are rolling towards this muscle. It's rolling across. Leave this one straight. Need these all the way in. Here. Then here. All right, and that should, but again, you've got to start practicing this so that when you're rolling that hand, if you start by curling those ones in the middle, it's going to make your hand flare this way rather than,
Okay.
you feel the difference on that? And you see the alignment, how that, when that looks like it's just one solid piece going right into that. But it's got to start with that little finger rolling in here, and that should turn that right into that alignment for you. And if you go towards the wrist, it sort of squishes things out to the side instead. Oh, relax. That's going to fold right on top. That's it. Don't hold it so tight. All right? Now, anytime a lot of you work with weapons and such, all right, when you grab a weapon, you don't hold it with the whole hand. What do you hold it with? Usually the two little fingers and the thumb. All right? That's what you're doing here. When you're squeezing this, think of only the two little fingers and the thumb. What are you holding? What's your weapon? Hey, these two little boys right in the middle here. All right? And if you wind up squeezing those first ones too much, it actually pushes away from that alignment and makes it much more difficult to get those things to fly into place here. All right? Even that, go ahead, do your fist like that one. And you see how that wanted to flare out to the side here? All right, so yeah, even that's too much. Dig in a lot more because we're focusing in power as force over area, and the smaller the dot we touch, the more trauma we're going to keep track at that point. This one's out a little bit, but again, that's going to happen when you roll in these, right? Again, I can't just go into here. After a while, you'll see, you've got a little pocket in here. You almost develop a little pocket where these go. So you want to try and take this little finger, each of those fingers, all the way back to the base rather than leaving them out too far this way. And that'll help, keep all those things projected. I can't curl on there. Just worry about rolling one at a time. That way, even if you were
squeeze them all in at a time, the little one doesn't get in there, it's always fighting to get back in. So that's why it has to start with that little one. If that goes in first, even though you relax it, it's wedged in, it won't come out. You read Masayama's book when he was criticizing that bit, that's what he said was, hey, the reason we don't use that is that little finger tends to pop out. And that's because they try to grab it from the middle or the front of the hand rather than starting with the little one. If you start with that little one will never move. It's wedged in underneath everything. Okay? Start rolling it in. You're rolling it. Because we're trying to push too much here rather than here. So this binding. Now you can see, hey, this feels awkward to do this. That wants to stay, and again, I don't want to hit with that wrist flared in this direction. I want this to be perfectly straight. And a lot of times, what I do sometimes is you should be able to take a little stick and have it go across the inside and across the top. So if your forearm's out here, this should be a straight plane. This should be a straight plane. Right, everything is off of this point right here. Right? And you'll feel a big difference if you've got pressure here, boy, everything's into that. If you rotated that hand so that it's here, well, boy, I don't feel that now. Right? But as soon as that's turned this way, hey, you feel that little difference that comes off. And it's coming off of, hey, that's where that came from. Middle finger's brother. No, it wants to have no space whatsoever. So you're trying to get that tucked in like that. And that's why, and this wants to keep rolling. Right, don't try to squeeze too hard there. Let this move over top. This isn't tight at all. Right? It's the thumbs and the two little fingers that are tight. They hold the other ones in place. Right, yeah. In practicing that, in fact, if you wind up just holding your hand out here, when you start to feel that expansion and you curl your fist properly, hey, it'll bring those hands right to here. So try and feel that one. Let's extend this hand straight. Try and feel that first finger straight. And start curling the little finger. It should make the forearm move. It should bend those arms for you. And put that at a 90-degree angle with the bend of the elbows. And so point them in towards you. So, yeah, if we do this, then they'll come in more and come towards you. We don't really want to do that. We want them out here like, I just pulled these guns out, and these are my guns. So we want to make sure we've got them ready, right? You don't go walking around with them aimed up here. They're aimed down here. All right? Okay, that looks pretty good. Now, the next thing we're going to work on is actually this extension on a punching motion. So let's do that next. And we can stay in this circle like that, so wait, I can run around here. So let's try to get those bits. We got those into place. Okay. Rotated them up. They're sitting up in front of us in here. All right. What we want to do is not think, no, if you relax your arms, well, we can rotate and do anything for us. But if you expand that and feel, hey, all my arms are in balanced tension by doing that, and I rotate them, they're going to move. Not because you pushed them out, but just because you turned them.
Let's turn them back. Turn them over. Turn them back. What was tighter? If you turn them, you just go to here and back to here. A little more expanded tension on there. Hold my knife up. Grab it. Feel the difference up? All right, so I got it. Good. If I'm relaxed, I don't feel it. This tension is restricting you, but I'm not flaccid, I'm firm. If you ever feel a dog, hey, they don't feel the same. All their muscles are connected together. They don't. Everything moves in a unit because they're in balanced tension. We're the only one animal that can isolate muscles and move things independently. You know, cats don't sit over there flexing single claws. When they do things, it all works as one. Now we have the option of, you know, being able to do things individually, but we also have the ability to learn to move them together. When we move them together, now we join the rest of the animals, all right? And if we don't do that, that's why we're the low guys on the animal world out here as far as motion and power, all right? But we can gain the same amount they do when you keep that in balanced tension like that. Now, where do your hands go for that punch to the middle? Because sometimes we overextend these a little bit. So let's reach out and just grab your hands here. All right? Now, straight. Well, that doesn't feel too strong out here. Where is my strength? All right? Get out there. All right? You want those elbows rotated out just a little bit. You know, rotate them in. And, no, it's not as strong. You can rotate them too far. So wiggle them around a little bit and punch. Hey, that's where I want to be. All right? That's where my punch is. All right? And these are rotated all the way to this point. So I feel like I've bound this together. Again, if I don't have this full tension here and I'm in this position, but I don't feel that to the body, I do now. All right? And it's the idea of getting that turning in. Otherwise, we're pushing a screw in rather than hammering, or we're hammering it in rather than twisting it in. So you want to allow that rotation to cause the motion rather than the extension causing the rotation. All right? And they should naturally turn so that they complete, not up there, because again, leave them there like that. That's where you're strongest, right on that center line. If we punch off center where you're strong, you don't walk around, you know, that's going to hurt me. All right? And again, when I'm punching air, I don't feel the difference. It's only when, hey, I got somebody out there fighting against me, and really now it becomes a little more critical when we actually meet some resistance. So when we make those movements, and that's what you want to do is feel that spot out here, even take one arm, hold that one, rotate that into your fist. Hey, that's where that wants to be. And you can feel it can't be up from there. That should feel pretty solid, like it's locked right into your body. Because again, my arm isn't that strong, and I'm not going to hit you with my arm. I'm going to hit you with my body, all right? Because if you're holding that hand, all right, and I'm doing this to you, that's not the same as putting in, now I'm hitting you with a 200-pound hand instead of a 2-pounder. All right? I can lop this hand off and throw it at you. And all that is an annoyance. But if somebody throws me at you and this is sticking out in front, oh, now we get hurt. All right? So you want to make sure that you get the body behind your techniques rather than just reaching hands out to do things. All right? So we got that forward hand position. What about the hand position behind you? And again, that's a little bit too high. First of all, you know, this, you got to hit me pretty hard to do anything there. All right, where all our organs lie in about a 4-inch band right around this midsection. So you want your punches down here, not up at chest height. And you can feel, you know, yeah, just realize, this doesn't mean much. Oh, but we get down here and, hey, that's what's going to make things happen. Again, hitting on the surface doesn't mean a thing. All right? If you didn't like that, you wouldn't be in this game. All right, that feels good. You should be over here. All right, but when you get touched inside, the body doesn't like that. So that's what we got to do, is touch things inside. And you're primarily causing body shock to the organs down here, not just hitting up in here, hitting bone and muscle. You know, again, there are some people you can pinch them and, that's enough for body shock. There are other people you got to kill and give them time to realize they're dead. All right, so we better make sure we know what we're doing out there. Now, where do the arms go when they go behind us? So let's take those hands and let them swing back. And remember, they flare out. Close them into your fist, swing them. And that should fit right on your side here. The height of that is really different. There's some people that teach, hey, put your hand here, put your hand here. And that was probably correct for the instructor that was teaching that way. The correct height of where your hand goes is the height of your elbow. All right, set your elbow there, and that's where your hand sits. It's a personalized, individual thing. Anything up or down from that is going to make that swing far weaker. All right, and we can do that by taking, what, you look where this is, all right, and if you swing this elbow forward, just swing it down here. Hey, I got everything moving there. Let's bring it up a little bit. Now swing it down. Oh, hey, that doesn't want to move. All right, you go below that. Some people do it on there, swing it forward. But at this point, hey, now you got 100% going directly in through that swing of the elbow. All right, so again, now we're using that natural pendulum swinging motion. Now, the thing we want to do is, again, let's get those hands into the middle. They're going to be right in front of us this way. They're at either side. We don't want to hold them too close together. They should be at shoulder width, elbows at your side, and they're straight forward here. Again, if I do let my hands get too close together, you allow me to get 2 for 1, and there's nobody left for this guy. All right? If you got them apart, I can get 1. Hey, but you got 1 too. All right? So never stand there with both of them here. They've always got to be apart. Once you get them too close like that, somebody can snatch 2 of them, and then you're left without any. All right? So at this point, they're right in the middle. When we rotate them palm down, hey, that should bring them to that spot right on dead center. That's when they're, now they're together. All right? But again, don't try to do it so hard. Let's do that again. Shoot them forward. Yeah, don't push them. Tighten everything and slowly turn it like you're twisting all that. Hey, you feel the difference? All right? If you just pushed it, even slow, push them slow, they don't really want to go. It's the turn that makes that happen. So you've got to start to feel those muscles work and let them rotate to make all those things happen like that. All right? So the back of here, rotate over to the center. Back. Rotate them over. Back. And again, just conditioning that movement in there so that you start to feel all those muscles play with you. Now, we can grab a partner, and again, I'm not going to stand there and brace them. Turn them back. All right? And you let that rotation make the motion. If you try to just push them straight forward, you feel you move. Even if you're holding mine, you know, I don't even have to be here, but hey, that's going to, yeah, keep your arms straight, you know, they're going to move you. All right? If I start moving myself, all right, because I'm pushing against it rather than letting that turn into place. And that becomes the correct gearing to make all that happen for you. All right? So that rotation over, getting it out, rotate it back and get it in. Go ahead and grab a partner with that and just play it. We're not going to go to there yet. We'll get there in a moment. My legs are attached to my body. I can move like this. And we're the only animal that have, and now I'm walking around on stilts. That's why you see people just, you know, and if, you know, you can even feel this. Let's do a little drill where, you know, we just got our hands out like this, and we're just in here. And even if you're leaning forward, it doesn't matter. If my legs are straight, it's nothing. As soon as a
little cock here, and these legs are working for me now. So you have to have a little bend in this ball socket, right? And depending on how much you need, all right? And that's why this makes things happen. That's why they make baseball players, hey, do this so that you're, you know, if you're standing like this, you're in trouble. The front line on a football team, yeah, they're all the way down here. All right, and that's as much as you can get. You're horizontal. You go any further than that, you're heading towards the ground. The front line standing like this, and the other guys are down there. They're going to be sitting down on the first instant. Now, if we wanted the maximum, we'd be like that too, except in our game, you're allowed to hit people in the head. That's sort of, you know, each little game has its own set of rules. So we don't want to go that far, but you got to have a little bit in here. Don't try to stand back and be back on those legs. Always at least cock those hips a little bit forward. And right away, that's going to keep that weight up on the balls of your feet. As soon as you go back like this, you're resting on your bones instead of working on your muscles. So once you cock this, you'll start to feel, hey, now these legs are ready to move, and I'm ready to move as well. But as soon as you let that straighten up in here, we lose that feeling. Okay? All right, we'll move on. Rotation causing the motion, not the motion causing the rotation. Yeah, let's hold them there. I don't feel anything here unless we get relax. Here. Now I feel. They can't be this way. Seriously. Now, rotate them down. And back, but we held the elbows in. So that elbow came towards me. Didn't try to go forward, and that's what restricted your forward motion. Remember how we did that arm swing? That elbow really flares out. This turns it. That's better. Again, if this is like this, hold it like that. You feel that all up at your shoulder? Right there. You feel that in your body. Lean at me. Hey! Now all your body's going into the hand. Straighten it. Lean at me. You aren't going to lean at me.
Stops right
All right, stops right there. That's it.
something else to it. Something like this. Oh, yeah. Wow. I don't know about that, but I know you do something. Three of them, like 2 or 3 down one. Either way, you gotta get to the point where you're not hitting all 3. Just keep showing me. Sometimes that just comes from smacking my arm. You know, for just nerves. I thought it was like that. It's just one gotta be firm. Again, just relax it again. Fight, just fight standing. Now turn it. Oh, see? That was perfect. Yeah. There you go. There you go.
here, turn. Here, here, and so the punch is really in two parts. And again, I don't want to turn this way, it's got to be here. At that point, over there like that. Right? This is the way you pull things. Hey, that's give. You know, I want things coming to me. Alright? And again, I'm standing here with, I don't walk around with my guns like this. They're aiming at you. This isn't aiming at you. You know? That's aiming at you. So they're here at this point. And this is where punches really start from. They don't start from back at the hip. Alright? They're going to start from the middle. So what we're going to do is let one go forward, one back. Well, they turn over. Back to the middle. Turn. Back to the middle. All those little habits are going to be hard to break. Don't let them reach out too far. You want them to throw up your arm. That's where they are. You don't want them out here. They're just hanging. That's where they are. That's the bottom of the pendulum that your arms swing. When we do punches, hey, we're swinging. We're coming in and swing. When you do a punch, you let it fall and accelerate on the second half. You can't accelerate both halves of a pendulum. Alright? And a lot of times people try to, let's say we were back here like this, and you can't just throw a punch out to here. Alright? And rather than just have you punch, let's feel it by keeping the arm straight behind you. Now, if we try to go fast from here and swing in front of you, that felt kind of weak at the end. It felt pretty strong by your body, but it lost it as it went there. So instead, hey, let's let him come in easy and accelerate on the second half, not the first half. Again, you cannot accelerate both sides of a pendulum. So you only work on the second half, or else we're decelerating on the second. Alright? So when we're doing those punches like that, we have the hands back here. This is easy. Now it's strong. Back. Up. That could be strong. Easy. Up. Easy. Back. Easy. Up. Easy. Back. Easy. Now, right one's going to go forward, left one back. Strong. Easy. Strong. Easy. Strong. Easy. Again, yeah, that one back behind me, because again, if they are back there, when trying to swing them out to me, and hold mine back there, and you'll feel, hey, I can get to here pretty strong, but then I'm going to taper there. So if they're back here, I'm going to let this fall. Hey, and now, that's when it starts to explode. All right? But don't try to accelerate too early. Force equals mass times acceleration, and you only got so much. If you get going too fast too soon, then you're going to peter out when we get there. And again, it's not a game of tag. Hey, let's jump. It's whether I hit you, you're standing or laying down on the ground. Alright, so if you hit somebody and they didn't fall down, it probably wasn't really very cool. Might be in worse shape now. So make sure that when we're doing these, you've got everything coming in at the end. Alright? So back to that middle spot, we'll just work a few of those punches again. Make sure they're facing each other again. When we do this, this is trying to come to me. Or me holding something here rather than out in front. So we got it like that. Let that snap up. Back to the middle. Back to the middle. Back to the middle. Now, don't get them too close together. I might get both of them. I can only get elbows are in. That's it. And we're bend forward. That's it. All right, let it out. That's it. And up. And again, you want to feel like the twist is making that happen. If you just twist those hands real fast, and they're out there. You shouldn't feel it like you're working hard to do that. Because again, if you do that, it's pushing half of it back to you. When you get that rotation working, you're being nice and generous and giving them everything you got. So feel generous, feel free. All right, otherwise you're holding it back. Rotate it up. And. When you learn the middle punch, because that's the only one where the wrist is perfectly straight. Then Tengetsu, the idea of the full circle, is you can really punch anywhere in between there. That's your full spectrum. Because nobody's the exact same height, and I don't have to move them up here to hit them with that, I just make that bend a little bit less. But the idea is still letting that arm swing, and depending if that wanted to hit this height, when I reach that height, I rotate, that's where it goes. Or I reach this height, that's where it goes. Or, hey, I'm right in the middle, when it reaches that height, where it goes. It's already at this height, so I rotate it here, hey, that's where it goes. And it's the same principle as those old-time swings. Hey, I'm at the right trajectory, I release that, and take it off out to that target. That gives you two things, and that's why Seiken Tsukiri is different than all your other uchi. All your other strikes are called uchi. But Seiken Tsukiri is in its own category. And Seiken Tsukiri means proper fist thrust. So the fist, or the striking point, is parallel to the ground going straight forward. I don't like that. Otoken is rotating. Otoken means inverted fist, or just rotating the palm up. So what we do with this is rotate the hand upward. That elbow is the same motion. If I rotate it here, boom, they come right into that center line in front of me. Here, like this, and back. If I did a second, it's out of this range. That's where my elbow is. This is Otoken. The swing of the elbow is the same. All right. There's no difference. All right. The difference is my range. That's the Ken range. All right. This the Ken doesn't work here. Otoken's up. All right. So that's when somebody, hey, they got a little too close to throw a punch. Well, that's when I'm using these movements. So if we're doing Otoken, let's do that. We're going to rotate them both, palm up, still swinging the elbows. Hey, that comes up in front of you. Back. Up this. And back. And up here. And back. Okay, don't let that elbow come in, because hold that there, don't let me move it. Again, you're not hitting me with the arm. This is just hitting with the arm. All right, lean at me a little. Yeah, just press up with the legs a little bit. That's when, because I'm not really, this is going to hit you with my hand, but you feel, when my body comes in with that, hey, now you're getting hit with a big hand. All right, and again, it's that mass that is the important factor. Force equals mass times acceleration. You can only accelerate so fast. All right? If you throw a 2-pound hand at somebody, or a 200-pounder, or a pound and a half, or a 150-pounder, all right? There's a big difference. All right? So let's work a couple more of those. What do you can? Turning it up. Twist it up. And again, back in the middle, let's do it with both. Again, you twist it and let that pull the elbows. Don't try to push it forward. Just the turn. They don't go there by itself. You don't even have to look at it. You get that twisting happen. Well, that's going to come right into play. Try not, hold that there again. Oops. And so let me move that. Oh, okay. Where's it? I want that elbow out here. it's strong there, you brought this, all right? So the elbow isn't going in the direction. A lot of times it feels kind of weird because if you're holding that hand and you're holding that elbow, yeah, put that one, all right? Hey, where did that elbow's going that way, all right? But you feel the direction of the hand going this way. If I try to make my elbow the natural swing of the arm, and then I've got real chances of straining my rotator cuff, and really hurting myself by working unnaturally rather than natural. And I like to define karate as unnatural means to attain the natural. So we do all kinds of weird things at first, so hey, I start to feel what I've got and how to really use it. Because this isn't, karate just isn't for the dojo. This is for life. So the same thing happens if I want to, I'm going to just walk over and flip on light switches rather than letting that rotation move for you. Or even picking up a pencil, I just reach out a line rather than, and making sure that that rotation, and I condition my body to move that way all the time. All right? You don't see a cat walking around, oh yeah, oh there's a bird, I mean, they're cool like this, and then they're, oh yeah, I'm ready to play, but they move that way. The cat's a cat 24/7. All right? And karate should be 24/7. You don't just train an hour and then, all right, the rest of the day I walk around. Regardless of that, I take these principles and try to move and stand and walk that way. I sleep that way. And, then it really becomes a part of you, right? Okay, that is the do, and the do isn't just a path, it's a passage. It's an individual pursuit, and that's what you do, is you walk with a teacher for a while until, hey, I know what I'm doing now, I'm going to try and do that too, and you start to follow that as your own unique passage, is your own way in itself. Right? And that's when we truly grow and learn and understand. Right? Everything I tell you is just knowledge. But when you do it and feel it, now it becomes wisdom. And that's only achieved through experience. Right? And experience is the best teacher. But the only problem with just working pure experience is your first lesson is also your final exam. So it's good to have a teacher first. All right, and then we get to grow with things as we go. All right. Okay, the last one we're going to do is Teisho, all right, which is a palm heel strike. All right, and this is used when now somebody, well, they're even too close for that. They're right up in here in my face. And I don't want to do that. That looks a little dangerous. So that rotation again brings it back to the shoulder. I rotate it. Yeah, and in the finish of the Teisho, those knuckles should almost be touching your nose. You don't want to go past the center. Wrist is back. Wait for this. Other hand back on your hip. And we're bent forward. Put your nose up close to this. Now it feels strong. Keep back your head away from your hand. Oh. So, it's not like, oh. You want to be always ready to whisper in that guy's ear, telling him, you're doing this. All right, so, get the feeling that you're always going to be in somebody's face. Remember, trying to stay away from it, And, you ever see an animal go to, it's not, I'm ready to go. You better be ready to go for it. All right, that Teisho, we're up in this position. Hold that hand there, grab that upper arm. Hey, there's Oriken, and there's Senken. The only difference is that rotation or reconfiguration of the hand and forearm. Good. Part of power source. The only reason you got those deltoids and shoulder muscles is to keep your arms attached to your body. They don't really drive things forward. They're there to do that. And a lot of this, as we start to, we're not going to get to this today on how to really apply the body and put that into play. Because you've got to have these correct, first so that, you know, you condition your body and strengthen it, or else it's just as easy to hurt yourself as somebody else, all right? You know, when I work out and train, it's not to get more power, it's to handle the power, all right? You don't pump 300 pounds of pressure into a garden hose. You can turn it on, but you're not sure it's coming out the nozzle, all right? So the same thing in here, you've got to condition that body, and you've got to learn to make these things work right, so that when we do learn to apply everything else and get that working, hey, I'm not going to, oh man, that baby wasn't lined up, and oh, I punched that guy and hurt my shoulder. Jeez, there's something wrong here. All right? If you touch somebody, they should hurt. All right? So it doesn't take that much when we get all those things lined up and making them work like that. Is that time-wise about right? I don't know. I lose track of time sometimes. Bending the hips, you bend the elbows, and again, if they're holding real tight, you may have to bend down to them rather than try to bring your hands off out in here. But basically, the first thing is just getting the bend to this drop, and then we're going to drop our body, we're going to bend the knees and drop away as we let our arms swing up, and then come back down on top of there. All right, so the motion without somebody, let's just do this together a couple times. We're just going to bend forward, hands up in front of you. All right, and then we want to drop by bending the knees as we swing our hands up. And then you're going to let the hands rotate forward. So if you rotate them, they'll straighten again. And then we'll stand back up and we're right back where we were. So let's do that again. Turn them in, drop, let them straighten, and down. Once again, bend, drop, and catch. And that motion with the hands, again, is rotating them up, and as you rotate them forward, that forward rotation is what causes that arm to straighten or extend forward like that. So just grab a partner, we'll just do that back and forth a little bit. And get
Still down. We're still going to take it down. I don't want to strip down right there.
If I twist this way, then keep you on the track. What I'm going to do is just go here and you feel it's going to break free of the thumbs. Right? But I kind of lean forward this way. You feel how you go off balance and then I capture here. Right? Okay. So if you wind up doing this, you're coming on top of me. I don't want that. I want you leaning backwards, not me. So somebody's got to be leaning on somebody. You want to be the leaner, not the leanee. Right? Again, when I do this, my elbows are still in. You tried to work them out here, and you can feel my arms aren't real strong here. This, you don't feel anything here. Right? In this motion, you feel how it breaks free really easily. Right? Rather than, that was really struggling out here. But if these are close to your body, And again, I really don't even have to move there. I can, my hands didn't move. If I can let the body do all the movement. But I've got to have that lean and forward projection so I unbalance. Well, you're still unbalanced. You can flow like this. You went straight up. Gotta get unbalanced too, otherwise I get hurt. I'm the one not balanced. Really feel the difference. Now, if I do this, you're still in the position. If I come here and do this, you've got to have that lean. Turn your thing. So you're going to go instead of doing this. And I want to lean forward so that you're off balance. If I do this feeling, I got free, but you're going to be on top of me. And I like to get on top. Forward, manage to try to. That's just me. Rather than, relax on your arm and let them go. Grab something back. I'm hoping what I'm doing, once I get to here, you can't get away from it. You try to get that. I got it. But now, as soon as you feel me let go, you try to get away. Still on. He's not so good. Right, I want to let go. Then the right way. The way. You can do the same thing. Drop this way. Rotating away from it. Forward. Here, with your stance, while you're back, so lean towards it, right? Right? But just like this. They're towards each other. 1, 2. They're turning forward. Over the top. If I do this with my hands, that's pulling me towards you. I may, later I may decide, instead of just that, hey, I don't want to pull you on me right now. I'm pushing you away from me. Right, no, toward you. There. Up. Turn them away. So, keep them straight like this. Well, anytime if you grab my wrist again, if I do this, I don't want them in towards me. I want you away from me, and now I'm going to bring you back. All right? It's almost like, you know, if I do this to you, well, you're much more stable than that, you know, push you that way and then hey, where am I? You know, I want to keep you unbalanced, because if this is stable, you're powerful. Once you lose this, now I can do things real easy. All right? So I've got to break your stability or base much more than anything else. All right? Think of, we're going to push in. Keep your elbows in. Yeah, get that butt back. Not so much that you're going to fall forward, so butt back even a little more. That's it. Feel how much more projection you got here? If I'm like this, you're going to push me real easy, aren't you? Right, so that's the whole feeling, is getting that forward lean like that. Because again, you can't move somebody just standing straight up and down. Right? That's it, but let it become the sweep. We're not trying to get that, whatever, yeah. And it's not a fast, jerky motion. It can be slow. Here. Don't relax your hands, because you hold them tight. Yeah, but your arms are too loose. Straight those arms. That's it. Now you're keeping me there. You know, rather than a couple times you're grabbing a guy like this, but you know, my hands are tight, but there's, you know, now you're gonna have a hard time lifting my arms, right? So hold them down here. Don't let me move. Now, you can feel a little bit more. And that's all we're doing is, you know, you're not really just trying to fight things like that. You wouldn't really even just do this motion. We're learning that principle of this. When my hands go up, I go down. When my hands come down, I go up. Right? The natural flowing motion of things. Okay? Because really, we're going to have people pushing at you, punching at you, doing anything like that, and we're going to do the same motion. Right? So if I'm grabbing you, I'm holding these arms pretty straight here. That's it. That's what we're doing. Right, and just do it smooth so that, again, you know, it's not like you're fighting these, but trying to learn to make it smooth and feel your body just do that as a natural response. You want this to become your startled response. If I'm standing here and you reached at me, oh no, hey. Oh boy, that covered whatever was coming, and all of a sudden, hey, I'm controlling your arms. You know, it wasn't, and I'm back here like that. Oh, boy, that's real easy to do. What?
It's easier to bring your body down and then bring something heavy to you.
Right. Uh-huh. Okay, that was good. Again, a lot of times, most people are going to come up directly, and we're just going to drop the body as the hands go up and bring them back down to control something. All right? The next move we're going to do is somebody just coming in to push at us. And we'll start with just making it, what we do is try to take out a number of variables, and then we'll add them in as we go. All right? So at first, just, you know, somebody's just going to come walking towards you with your arms out. So you just get used to the distancing of, hey, I did the same thing, and I've dropped down and controlled that. It's the same motion. Drop, and when I come up, I'm going to come down with my open hands wedged into their elbows. All right? When you control the elbow, you control the arm. They can't do anything. You're stuck. You get tied up here, you're pretty well out of place like that. So all we want to do is those arms come in here, up, and boy, I'm in control now. Just lean in on that person. Don't lean backwards. You'll still have this movement. Hey, but I'm the one still getting walked out of the way. So you've got to lean forward, get that projection in there, catch the arms, and then just start walking them back. All right? And we'll just start with that right now. Let's do that a
Your body came, but I projected your, hey, I'm coming in without my arms. Uh-oh, hey. Then we go back, all right? Don't move forward, right? That's why remember what you did. Here, here, and then, all right, so if you're coming towards me, this part, but if you're reaching me, if I walk over here, I moved in too close and you're on me, so if we get the hand pushing you here, then you feel, hey, you kept coming, but I'm going without my arms. And then the next one you know, you're leaning back, I'm leaning forward.
That's why you always see more wings just
All the way up to your head, and then down.
Straight down, and then start walking with it. What happens then, you're gonna do it on me, all right?
You guys,
And I'll walk right forward here. When you drop and project forward there, oh, hey, you feel, I still am coming forward, but you project my arms away from me. If you just project my arms straight up, you know, hey, we're in here, you don't want that. So that's why we practice this to get that forward away projection. Right, even if they come forward. Well, once you have their arms, they can't come any further. And that's it. You know, we're going to have the elbows, and it's real easy to take. Once you got that, you can do all kinds of things to it. That's what we're going to do for the year after.
To make that push at you. So if you're here like this again, it's the same feeling. And again, the feeling is you're not trying to push them backwards. You do to this lean so far that, boy, I'm just leaning on the person. And the only reason I'm stepping is because, wait, otherwise you start walking, I'm going to fall on the ground. All right? Now, we can try that with just a push. You can try that with somebody just punching at you. It's still, I'm using both hands. Don't just think of one, oh man, I'm in trouble here. Even though you only threw one, I got both the hits. And you want to have two, even though you got one, that other one can come out there and get you real quick. It's hard to get them both at the same time swinging at you, but just because he did this and you control this arm, that doesn't mean I got this. But if I do this, you'll have both arms, and now you don't have to worry about them swinging right away. So try a variety of different things. You can even try it when you're turned sideways. Oh, okay. Same deal. All I got to do is just turn a little bit, and then let it drop forward. When you come down on that arm, again, try and make sure they sit in the wide of the hand. Right? Don't try to grab them, because if I grab this, hey, now you can move me. If that's open and I'm leaning on you, well, you've got to work real hard. Plus, from this point later, we're going to have all kinds of things we can do real quick. I don't have to let go. I'm ready to just move from here. Okay? All right, let's try that. Don't rush. We got plenty of time. Make haste slowly, take it nice and easy. Start slowly, and eventually you can start to speed up with them, but everything is not. You're trying to get it all the way down. Swinging that hand for me. No matter what speed you're going, all I'm gonna do is your hands go up when I drop, and I come back, I'll give you the one. And that's why we practice that. Where did you go? No, but if your hands are up, you this is too late. You got me at that part. So even if you're swinging or taking off, walk in and push from here. Feel how your hands, I got it. Once your elbows are above your shoulders, you've got no strength in your arms. So that's my goal is when you reach at me, look, you got nothing up there. Yeah, no, I'm going to swing them up. What did we just do? So if you reached at me, your elbows went above your shoulders. Oh, now they're done. And I got you nice and easy. It should take no effort at all. You're reaching out like this. Nice and easy like that. As long as I follow my trajectory, I'm not trying to follow your arms, I'm just
Right, well, it might only be one. You know, you can just one arm, but your arms are attached to your body, you're going to run into them sooner or later. You got your hands this way. And that's why you go past. So these have to rotate forward so that feel pain. Oh, boy, as soon as I go up, what's in my fault? You know, and I'm just leaving. So when you're doing that, you're here, you're going to go past. So it's not right. It's got to be right. Because again, that gives me a little bit, I could walk them into something, you know, if I wanted, or, you know, but they're eventually going to try and get their footing and then re-struggle. So what I want to do is, let's say, for right now, but when we came up and we got into this position, all right, whether we're walking them back, whatever we want to do, we're going to learn a couple different responses from here. So for right now, you can just practice with, you got their person, you got their arms here. The first movement, you're up straight, you can stand there like that. Our first move that we want to work on is I'm going to step back with one foot and bring this hand into my other one. And as I do that, I'm slapping that palm. Then I'm going to slide into here with a little bent arm action on it and lock that into place. So all that is as I step back with one, I hit down to here. Both of my elbows are in. All right? They're out at this point. We're in close to the body. I step back with my body, get down, slide this one in, lock on the arm. And from here, you got a great come along. They'll go right with you. We can take them down to the ground anywhere we want. They'll go right with you in place. You're holding it with one hand. Let your other hand wrap over. And you've got this tucked into the crook of your elbow. All right? And again, be gentle with it. Everyone knows the universal 2 taps and that's enough. All right? So you don't really have to make everybody hurt. Once you get the feel of it, it's pretty easy. But the important thing is getting, and again, it's a 2-step motion. Back with one foot, in with the other. All right? Now you'll notice I'm also back here, and I'm not reaching this. That's why this is the hit of your body, getting everything folded into place there. All right? So you've got to come back and then use that arm to make sure, I get that folded in. Because people aren't going to want to cooperate with you. Nobody wants their arm bent up like that. All right, let's give that a try. You don't have to get too carried away with it. That's going to make you do it. So if you go back, slap back. Make sure that you go back here. Right. Because otherwise, if I come in here and just, you know, then you're doing things to me. So, you know, and again, you don't have to get carried away with it every time, but, you know, that's the gist of it, is when I step back, snap across the hand like, you get a bad luck. So, right. And then,
Which one? I have it all down. A couple hundred times, so I might have part of it. Mr. DeVore.
person doesn't try to do something else. But some people don't want to cooperate, no matter what. I don't know. I didn't learn their lesson yet. They're still going to try to do something. So when I turn around and slap at that hand, all right, they've got two options. One, you're not blocking my arm, you're going to lock theirs straight, or you're not getting my arm, I'm going to pull it into the body. That's the only two things you can do. All right? So if I come in here, and we'll do that first one where, hey, I pull back and slap. Oh, he doesn't want to do that. All right? I'm going to roll this hand over and drop. Then I'm going to stand up. I got him in a nice little arm bar. So you don't try to fight them. Once we did this turn and came here, you can't, I'm not pushing anybody that way. All right? So if I got him to this point, tried to do the slapping, boy, he didn't want to bend that wrist. He's fighting, you know, and then he's allowed to do things. You drop. All you're doing is turning this hand over, and your weight drops with this hand. Oh, and now I can step in here real easy to put a, you know, just straight arm bar on him. We can take him down to the ground or throw, whatever you wish. All right? But it's real important. You step back just like we were going to do the one. Turn the hand and drop. Once you got that, you can just step right in. And if you want to control them, put your leg right into their armpit. If you stay back here, be strong enough to get back up. All right? If you get into here, nobody's coming up. If we want to move them, all we do is bump them with that leg, and they go right to the floor. All right? Let's give that a try. You like that?
I like that.
You'll keep this to yourself, though.
Oh, yeah, just me and the camera.
All right. These are my secrets. But I'm happy to share it with you guys.
No, thank you.
If I got your arm here, I can't move this. This stays stationary. You can't. I'm pushing the forward. Drop the left. You feel, there's no way I can move this. Move once. Let me move you. Doesn't take much. All you gotta do is just drop the hand. Now here. Then you move easily. Move the hand. Don't try to push here until you get the hand. Drop. Well, again, right, because again, I can move this way, but now my arms are close. I'm not fully this way over here. Thank you. But I want to fit, I'm not.
My elbows free, and all I'm going to do is drop straight to this arm as I bend. Now, the elbows underneath my side. You can do that. Maybe I didn't Glad you got me like I'm up here on that. All you want to do, you gotta roll this up first, just like, if you did that, you did that. Oh, no. So this goes down. Just take it down first with something else. Just stay right. Don't bend at all. Now bend. Oh, boy, there's nothing they can do. You gotta go. But you got everything's got to follow the correct procedure. That's like, when you drop, you have to bend at the hips before the knees. Well, if you bend at the knees and then the hips, that's what we do when we do that. No, you sit. You don't sit in the middle of a fight. So, if you want to spring on somebody, you don't sit first and then the that's going this way. Right. But you don't want to sit. Right, that's really what you're doing. You say you're walking me back here. No, you're coming your elbows, not my hands. Right? What you want to do is step back. Step back and slap on that to do this. But he does that. You have to go to that turn first. That's the first thing I want to do. Anytime I have to hear, I want this because I'm getting away from your other hand. You can't hit me right now. Hey, now I can put that in pretty easy, or I'll do this other block, because that's the first thing you're going to be thinking of is, I'm going to get with this rather than, all of a sudden you got it. Tell me where we get to.
2 o'clock.
Huh?
A little bit after 2.
After 2? Now you can step in and straighten that thing out. See if I
arm's down here, and I step back to do this, and geez, he pulled it in. Oh, all right. I'm going to take the head. And all I do is an open hand against the jaw, bring it in. I took this left hand and turned it palm up. So I was here, went to grab the hand, and I just turned them both towards me. All right? That way I went to grab this arm, he did that, and you can see how I blocked his neck against his shoulder. Now, all I have to do from this point is bow. And let him roll to the ground, nice and easy. Now, you don't have to take everybody to the ground every time. So, you know, you'll reach a point where, oh yeah, I can feel it. I can go to here. But just keep it locked against your chest. Bend forward and just feel that spot where, well, and you know, if you want to let them go to the ground easy, as soon as they start to fall, just open your hands and let them go to the ground nice and gently. That way, if I've got them into here, and I'm going to take them down, I'm going to bend. Just let them spill away. Okay? Let's give that a try. Be gentle with it. Again, too many of these and you're going to go, all kinks around on the neck.
About 4 after 2.
Okay, I just want to keep just 4 after 2.
You're one of the legs.
She's going to go down and see her mother. She's going to leave Monday and come back.
Later, well, the next one
She's still calling on the
just
phone.
go and you can go.
I know, I was like, I should call him, but I've been thinking, yeah, I should have called, yeah.
Right. But don't just go to one side. Do it on both sides.
That's okay.
No.
Why is it important to learn both sides? You got
gotta speak up, my ears are bad. I was diving a couple of days ago, can't hear my back. Huh? Well, it doesn't matter, because again, I got him here, I can really use either one. But what if he's got a buddy over there? I don't want to do this, do I? Oh, okay, yeah, no. I got to be in between him and them. Or we have him this way, and hey, we just and roll him down in front of him. You know, you want it, or there might be something there. There's a curve I'm going to step into if I go that way. Or it could happen and there's a wall, I can't turn this way. So you want your freedoms to go wherever you can, because we're in a pretty sterile environment here. Outside, there's all kinds of extra obstacles and variables. And, you know, you got to be prepared for all of them. So, you know, it's a good idea to be able to do everything both ways, just because, again, you might have a buddy and I got to deal with both of them. All right? So I don't want to turn my back on him. I want to keep my eyes on him as well. All right? Very good. So you really, our two throws don't have to go through that arm grab. Once we got him to this point, I can just go straight to here and dump him to the ground. Alright? So it's the same thing. Instead of worrying about stepping back, slapping the arm, and making sure, oh, now I got to respond to what he does there, is since I've already got him in this, I'm turning both hands up and slapping that jaw so that I've got it locked into the shoulder. And then we simply bow forward to take him down. So that would work real nice on he's reaching towards us or doing something, came into here, and then down to the ground. 1, 2, real quick. Alright? Rather than trying to, you know, that arm locker, taking them down this way is a little bit more when you're trying to be a security guy and there's a crowd of people watching, you know, you don't want to just throw somebody to the ground if they reach at you or something. So we usually take them through that first, but a lot of times if somebody's reaching at you, you might want to just dump them to the ground softly. This is the easy way to go to the ground, and then we'll learn one on how to go to the ground hard. That'll be our next one. So, but this is the exact same one, it's just you can bypass the arm, trying to do one of those arm variations, and just go from here, right? And again, all you're going to do for this one is step forward with that foot of the arm, your opposite arm of the one that's going to the jaw. Alright? So that way if I have the person here, I'm stepping behind them as I slap that jaw. And a lot of times when you're doing that, we're being real nice to each other this way. It would probably be a nice little smack in the jaw bend and boom, you're on the ground before you can do what happened. Okay? Alright, let's play with that a little bit. Do it gently again.
I need the face.
What?
I need the face. He always makes a face in the
Oh, really? Huh?
You feel the urge to
Right.
be on this side.
Some people do a little more punch to their legs.
That's one of the ways to avoid twisting the yeah, well, actually, when you touch it, don't worry about now you can show that your shoulders is going, but you can control that.
You fell on that.
I actually fell on the shoulders because I got more out. Well, I wasn't here because I was out with West Nile. I didn't make it to the last part of that. I wish I could
But I'm not. Then I'm facing the wrong way. You're strong. Where'd I go? It's hard for me to get at. So, but it's real hard for me if I step this way. There is my center. It's correct over there. Where's it at now? Oh, on you. Always keeping my center on you. I never want my center to get away from you. Or else I just lost my center. I'm going into that. It's not here. Or left. Right. No, nothing ever crosses. Even as I'm doing that, my elbows are staying pretty close. I'm here like this. My elbows are still close against my body here. It doesn't matter. You can drop a little bit first. Add that and make it a little harder.
Yeah. Eventually. How long can you do it?
With this battery, 1 hour. Tape's on 1 hour.
You can hook up there.
Oh, yeah, you can hold it on. Tapes and stuff only hold 1 hour.
Was that all? I got 20, I get 2 hours.
And, you can even do that to yourself. If you stand here like this, and I can resist it. Push it. Your head will turn. All right. Okay, the next one we're going to do is a hard takedown. And it's real easy to do, but it's bad for landing. So don't take the person all the way down with this one, because you wind up about horizontal here and then just free fall to the ground. And it's the same deal we had over here. It's very similar to our first move. I'm going to keep my elbows to the side, and I'm going to step back with 1 foot, and then I'm coming forward right across the neck. All right? All right? So again, all it was back with this. All right? And again, both elbows are in. I'm going to step with the left foot, but I'm not stepping first. I'm swinging the arms. You feel you're out here, and then straight to the ground. All right? And you can practice this. This works pretty quick. Don't go all the way with it. Keep the arms bent. And you can practice this so that you're catching somebody pretty quick.
slowly and gently. Well, it's probably this one. The next one will go right. Well, this is point down. You're gonna hit the ground. You're laying there. And, you know, if you got the reins now, that person, or I want to just take this person right out, I'm not even going to mess with them. All right? And I'm sure all of you had this move. Out of assumption. Okay, so that's all we got to do. We came in, we caught them into this point. We're going to sort of drop a little bit as we turn the hands. And when we finish that stop, we're just going to jump into the palm. All right? Try not to extend the arm all the way. All you have to do on this is just turn. All right? Now, the turn helps, but it's the drop of the body. And it's the step up of your body in here. And if both of these hands reach the center, then your neck's in sad shape. All right? So we block them to this point. This hand turns down. This one turns up. All right? As you do that, and when we come up, all right, you're just going to step with the foot of the hand that's pointed up. All right? That way I'm going to have this point. Where's it going? Right into that. Only that hand will really wind up taking it right into the center. Be careful with it, because well, you'll wind up flying right towards that hand. If you just leave this at the shoulder, all right, then he's going to fall right towards that. All right, and again, it's really going to wind up here. Just don't try to extend the arms. Just get that feeling of drop, and just leaving those hands there. And then you can slowly move the hands to the center to really finish it. And the reality of it, again, I'm thinking it the same way, is I would drop to here, and as I'm doing this, as I'm coming up, both of those are finishing that circle. So it completes right on your center line. That will have taken the lower body this way and the upper body that way. All right? Go ahead, let's try it. You drop this.
You guys give me your address, I'll send you a copy.
It really does. That's what's really bad. This would be as you drop it.
Thanks, please. Thank you.
That happens with this. This exercise, you feel you're getting hit. That's all of that.
Make that up, 501 Greens Planet Court, PA, 16023, United States, it's my home phone number. New York, yes. Glad to meet you, thank you very much.
Feel the difference between this.
Really close, that's coming right up everything, I felt like I was just kind of going right towards his face.
This doesn't push it on. That doesn't give you any. How long is it hit? The sound of the voice. That's all no longer your contact. So, you know, this only decelerates your arm. Your arm is fast as squares. If I extend this, let's say, instead of hitting your hand here, or because I immediately stop. When I stop, I transfer all the momentum to you. When I keep going with you, boy, even though that's as hard as the contact point, I absorbed part of that and went. It's just like driving a car. When you hit the brakes, everything flies. When you slow down gradually, everything stays there. That's why you want strikes to come in and stop. Whoa. And when you stop, all that momentum's got to go somewhere. It's in me. Right? When you keep going with it, it actually slows it down. So when you try to drive that arm past that point, you lose that impact, that impulse. And that's, force over time. Right? We want time to small. Here.
There's an interesting phenomenon in last
When I drop, bring these things together. So if I pull it this way.
So what you do when you
Now that's why we don't keep going.
take a damping material, so it doesn't react. Doesn't matter. So when you very damp, doesn't give any back. It's got oh yeah.
But that's here. You got me. This drop. Well, as you drop that hand, one hand comes up, one down. Keep that on. Because you're going to keep that hand circle. Elbows don't move at all. Don't turn the body. Down into me. Just straight. I turn. Look where I'm facing. Well, yeah. Because then you hit. Now I'm going to turn. You got there. You drop. Right.
Yeah. Drop, stay down. Stay down.
Bring it up to your shoulder.
I didn't say push, I said turn. Just turn. No, don't push. Push it. Drop down, you come down. Well, how you drop it? No, you did not. You dropped down like you were the girl trying to take a spot. Okay, you felt that. Okay, now you turn. Stay down. Yeah, you butt down. You turn up.
So a little bit more flat.
Go ahead and hang it to Ducky. There, go ahead and do it. Drop down to keep it Ducky with the butt out. Turn it. No, it's good.
That's going to make it real.
No, it's one way too. Push one way. Now, hands like this. See if we're going to play together. Push together. What happened? You're holding the position here. You got to set right up. Grab this tip. Push and snap it out. That's all you want to do. What's happening? Still trying to reach out.
I keep this wall. Hands over there and you walk down away from it.
Drop down, okay? You got yourself into this right here. Right here, almost. And you'll bend right here. Not just together. Turn it, come together. Go. There. Too simple, right?
Yeah, we have to do more.
Now, you're lifting up into like you want to just thrust up into it. Like that. Put that hip. Now push
I grab it so that I'm controlling where you want. Otherwise, if I put these like really too far, but this way, I know where it is. I can be, my eyes closed, but I still I know where it is. Right, just because you've got that feel and control of it, it's not so much. Yeah, there you go. Using this as hard. This is. If it's not working with the arm here, the arm just did this. Most of it was here. What you're doing here is not at all the cable. It's just like pull through. Otherwise, you got slack,
you're on.
Well, one is, you may hit a surface for it, but if this gives or this doesn't give, it's like running into a rubber hole or, you know, there's lots of people. Big difference. And then they can do it all. Right? Well, it's not that big. The hands are going to do this. One word part. You know, there's a big difference between exercise and execute. So we execute techniques, we're not in for exercise. No, let's work it out. Come on, make things efficient, easy, and often you don't want to work hard. Great workout. You know, that's a different thing. You know, a lot of but that's not where we're at. You know, and after a while, we got to train outside of this. You know, just because somebody, I had very bad legs, so I couldn't do my running stuff. You know, because after a while, you get so efficient that somebody was breaking a sweat. I'm doing sports, and then, you know, at least somebody can do this. Right? But, so I got to do other things. Otherwise, again, and again, I can hold you this way. That's why you can still hurt people. You know, that's not our goal. Our goal is mission. And try a couple times, you know, go relatively slow, don't try to go too fast. Again, it's not whether or not you can do things today, that's irrelevant. It's whether we get a little better today than we were yesterday, a little better tomorrow than we were today. That's our goal. All right? So the important thing is getting it smooth and trying to make it feel easy rather than, yeah, I got away with that. But I don't really learn if I'm struggling to get away with it. I start to do things slowly and smoothly so I can feel the differences and make my own corrections out there that we really improve upon things. All right? And just because, hey, I look good because I did it right now doesn't mean, boy, it's going to work the next time. All right? And what you want to have is the feeling that, boy, it's hard not to work. You know, if it would not work, I would be shocked. You know, and I want that feeling that, yeah, I feel comfortable in these positions because I know this is going to work for me. And when you have that working on your side, that allows your body to do things naturally. You know, our real greatest enemy is up here. All right? And all you got to have is a little bit of doubt and you beat yourself. Other people don't beat you. You beat yourself. You know, and usually, even when we're working with someone else, it's what's going on in your head that controls the outcomes of things, not really that moment. That could be a little bit of chance of luck here or there. But really, by doing things and making them comfortable within yourself, you feel comfortable and begin to perform your best. And that's what our real goal is. So try and work them smoothly. You know, have people come at you with a punch from the side. Anytime you have that, all you're going to do is turn first and allow it to sweep. So if I was in this direction in here, again, I'm turning to make that sweeping motion. And again, with any of these, you can go into them slow. You don't even have to complete them. You know, once we've done one of these, boy, I could start this way. Hey, let's start that. And, you know, practice both sides too. So not just, boy, I got to work this side. What happens if, you know, I came down and I didn't, you know, I may have come in here, but boy, this arm's getting away from me. I can't go to that side. You're pretty much stuck over here now. So any of those things can happen, and you want to try and work slowly and smoothly so you can start watching things and thinking on your feet as you're moving. And, you know, that's really our 3 stages of development. And all of you have been in it for a while, and some of you have felt that, where at first you're looking, all right, he's doing this, and I want to do this, and then we reach a stage where, hey, he's doing this, and I'm doing this. And then pretty soon it becomes, well, he did that, now what did I do to him, you know? And it already happened. And, you know, it just becomes a natural part of it. All right? So let's play a little bit with that to finish out. And if anybody has any questions, then we'll try and answer those for you and see where we go from there. Pretty strong. It's when part of your body's not tight and part of it is, then you're fighting against yourself rather than allowing yourself to just function properly out there and really work. So, you know, a lot of people when they're trying to punch are thinking, and especially tightening that hand that's driving forward, one of the best drills to practice is think of working the hand going backwards because that's usually the one that gets neglected, right? And it's the shadows of things that are often the most important. You know, the star doesn't mean anything without the people behind it. And it's those people behind them that really make that happen. So that hand by itself doesn't mean anything unless you got that whole body back there backing it up and really supporting that hand to really allow it to function properly. All right? These little control movements, again, are something that's really fun. It's something you can use no matter what. It's a real easy little program. If you play with that, I'm sure you'll enlighten yourself a little bit with those movements because, again, everything I tell you is just knowledge, but that's just something you heard. When you work it and feel it, and then you say, oh, now I know what he was talking about, then it's yours. Now you have the wisdom, and that's what's really the power and the understanding of things, and that's what you're really searching for. So, good luck with it. It's been a pleasure playing with each of you today, and hope to see you again in the future. Thanks for having me on.